Hey guys, I hope everyone's doing quite well amidst this heat in Bombay. Today I'm going to discuss about good MBA versus bad MBA. I've been always asked this question, sir, should I choose this college? Should I do this program? Should I not? And then you have all these, various portals where they will have a list of all top colleges and the not so good colleges. And then you always be very confused. You know why? Because in one list, you will have a college which features in the top category, and the same college features in another list in the bottommost category. So what does the student do? So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a perspective of selecting a right MBA institution and a right MBA program for you. I'm not going to talk about any specific college. I really hate talking about it. Yeah, if it is an IIM Ahmedabad, yes, it's one of the best, inarguably the best in this country. If it's going to be ISB Hyderabad, it's going to be IIM Bangalore, Kolkata, TAPME, XLRI, all these are brilliant institutions. So obviously students don't have a confusion around the best and the brilliant set of institutions. They obviously have confusion in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 category. And that is where the relevance of a good MBA versus bad MBA comes into picture. So now, for you to understand and have an unbiased opinion in terms of selecting an institution, you need to go back a little bit to history. When I say a little bit to history, it's about the Indian economic history. We during our school days study history, don't we? We do. But do we understand the relevance of that in our career building? The honest answer is no. Indians for almost 350 years were ruled by the Britishers. And we all have read about the Indian independence struggle and India getting independence on 15th August 1947. But at that point of time, mind you, Indians were conditioned to be the level 4 workers or laborers or clerks in the government setup. And because of that, not too many Indians thought of probably becoming managerial in nature. Forget entrepreneurial in nature. Forget doing businesses in India. For a long 60 odd years, in fact, it was till 1991, the so-called governments, and I have nothing against any of the governments because different political parties obviously were heading the governments in our country, everyone adopted a policy which was very similar or a derivative of what the British policy was. Do akki roti, hum do, hamare do, and that was the mantra. India kept on growing at around 3%, the typical Hindu growth rate that the world talks about. And in this journey from 1947 to 1991, India did not have too many B schools, MBA colleges. So first thing first, if there is an institution which was born before 1991 and is not doing well today and is probably trying to seek an admission in their college, it means it's a strict no-no for you. You know why? Because prior to 1991, you did not have too many MBA colleges. There was no aspiration of middle-class Indians to become managers or entrepreneurs. And even if at that level and if that scenario existed, if a college which got established before 91 is not a brand today, I'm afraid it's never going to be a brand tomorrow. And that's the reason I rule out those colleges which are struggling or probably are aspiring to have more students, better quality students, better placements, because they failed to invest in their own B school. Then came the era of 1991 onwards to 2007. And that was nothing else but the LPG era. The World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, they all enforced upon certain things on India because India had to be bailed out. And during this 16 years of journey of Indian education system, Indian corporate world, India grew at 8% plus. Everyone wanted to be a manager. So much so that every nook and corner of the country saw an advent of a B school cropping up, mushrooming. You had a politician here and there, you had a businessman here and there, coming and setting up a B school. The thing was very simple. You set up an MBA college, students are going to definitely join because they already guaranteed a placement because of the Indian growth rate. And the mushrooming was to an extent of more than 5,000 MBA colleges in this country. Mind you, America gave it to the world the concept of MBA. It doesn't have even 1,000 colleges, not more than 200-300 of repute. And India, which probably got into the capitalism fold in 1991, in 16 years itself, saw 5,000 MBA colleges being set up. And everyone was getting placed. Even the Kachara School of Management was able to attract a candidate with a donation. I can't name the college and I can't name the volume of donation. Then came the Great American Depression of 2008. Wow, the world came crashing. America was diagnosed with a financial sector issue, the subprime crisis. Now what happened because of that? Because of that, necessarily, after 2008, many MBA institutions suffered. When I say suffered, doodh ka doodh and pani ka pani happened. Because many institutions had forgotten the true essence of management education, the true essence, the value proposition, the vision proposition of an MBA institution. And those institutes which got established between 1991 and 2008 and are probably struggling today are a definite no. So first, what do I recommend? For you to choose a good B school, choose a B school which was born before 2008, not in the limelight, but is not struggling. Look at IRMA, look at TAPME, look at Exam Bhubaneswar. These are the institutions which were born before 1991, and they're doing relatively well. You will never find these institutions reaching out or struggling on the placement front either. Institutions after 2010, if it is doing well, is your first choice. Wow. You know why? Because the environment of MBA education in the world, not just India, changed drastically after the 2008 depression. And when that changed, somebody came up and was able to successfully roll out a B school. For me, that's a brand of the future. So when I think and when I recommend a student to look at a good B school, the first thing that he has to look at is the age of that institution. Which era was it born and how well or bad it is doing today. That's point number one. Point number two, which is where many students are confused. What program should I choose? You look at the IIMs, you look at SPGen, you look at TAPME, you look at XLRI Jamshedpur. They all historically conferred upon a PGDM. I am not an ardent follower of PGDM, but history has proven that the PGDM programs do relatively well. Third thing which is very vital. Today is the era where the world's talking about skills and only skills. And we all know the outside corporate world is a goddamn jungle. There is only one rule applicable: survival of the strongest and survival of the fittest. Given that criteria, what do you mean by survival of the strongest and survival of the fittest? It's like eligibility criteria and a capability criteria. It's like the necessary condition and the sufficiency condition. Eligibility, necessary. What does it mean? It means that you need to be formally educated. You need to be a bare minimum 12 plus 4, if not 12 plus 5, if not 12 plus 6. You need to be one. That makes you eligible. You cannot run away from the fact that corporate world considers 12 plus 4 as graduation and not 12 plus 3. That makes you eligible, strong enough to compete in the jungle. But mind you, the fitness comes in from a capability criteria. The sufficiency criteria, it comes in from skills. No wonder our Prime Minister is talking about making India the global skill capital of the world. He's talking about Skill India mission. He's talking about Skill India International Councils. Why? Because Atmanirbhar Bharat, if that has to be a real phenomena in this country, it's just not about we becoming independent or dependent. Yes, we become independent on product services, but we make the world dependent on the skills, and that's wherein India needs to be the skills global hub. And that's the advent of skills universities that the world has seen. And I represent Maharashtra State Skills University in the capacity of a strategy head, and I welcome all young budding graduates to explore the world of MBA, where eligibility gives the basic ammunition to fight, and the skills gives you the real ammunition to fight. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any queries, any doubts, feel free. My name is Nilesh Sarawate. You can Google me. Google seldom lies. Numbers, facts, always reveal the truth. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless. All the very best.